What's up, guys? And Banshee is the coaster I'll be reviewing today, and it is the longest inverted coaster in the world. So today in this video, I'll be giving my in-depth thoughts on it, like how I liked the whole ride. But first, let's go over the stats on Banshee, starting by being located at Kings Island. Of course, it's made by B&M, which it is the third B&M coaster once Orient opens in 2020 at Kings Island. It also has a height of 167 feet, which is actually very good. The speed is 68 miles per hour, also very solid for an invert. It has 7 inversions and finally a track length of 4,124 feet long, the longest invert in the world. Now, one of the things that you will notice is walking up to this ride. It looks fantastic. It just looks so massive. The color scheme looks great. It did take the former place of Centerbeast, this massive wooden coaster that was removed in 2009. But from what I've heard, Banshee is way better. So you will walk up and then boom, there's the entrance sign. It's one of Cedar Fair's great entrance signs and just looks stunning. I mean, it used to have fog. They actually continued the fog for quite a while, but then it seems like it just stopped. But anyways, it still looks great with the Banshee and these cool colors. But walking up to that line, it is a graveyard, which is pretty cool what they did. You first enter under the sign that says Haunted Hill. You walk past gravestones, which each one has a former attraction that used to operate at Kings Island. And of course, that largest gravestone is going to be Son of Beast, that Banshee is on the exact plot of land. The theme is basically the evil haunts have risen up and the Banshee is haunting that whole area basically. It's very cool, such as that graveyard in the station is also well themed. It's like a demonic church. It's very neat. It's shaped like a church and looks like one with, some chandeliers. Those windows look like a church. Cedar Fair definitely did a good job doing this theme well. But once you do get into that station, you should definitely go for the front row seat because I do think this coaster is actually decently rough. Even in the front, it was pretty shaky, not as much as my first 2 visits to Kings Island. But, that was a disappointment the first time I went to Kings Island because I expected the Banshee to be glossy smooth. I mean, it just isn't too smooth. I mean, especially in the back, and it does take away from the ride. I feel like with all my experiences on Banshee, I've gotten a bad day of operation for it running. It's really unfortunate because it would have been a better ride in my opinion, but it still is fantastic. That's probably my only con about Banshee. But once you get on that train, you'll notice those Vestas trains. These are the only ones on a B&M invert. They're not bad. I mean, you can enjoy the ride with them, but then you'll leave that cool-looking station and turn to your left and go up that lift hill. It moves pretty fast, as you can see, but probably one of the coaster's coolest moments is right at the top before you drop. There is this screaming Banshee sound. It's so cool. I mean, you can hear from all over. It's awesome. It's just such a neat effect. But one reminder is that if you're at the top near the middle, it is right where the speaker blares out. So it can be super loud. It startled me the first time when I was sitting in that seat. It was like super loud. But anyways, going down there is this massive drop, which if you notice, there is no pre-drop like on Banshee, which most other B&M inverts have. Normally, I'm not the biggest fan of pre-drops on inverts because it just makes like the drop not as big as it seems like. But then on Banshee, it's like boom, you're right down that drop. The back is definitely where it's at for that drop because you do get pulled over. You just shoot down and turn at a pretty steep angle. This drop is probably my favorite on an invert. It's great, but then going straight back up into this massive dive loop. It's like you go hang upside down and then shoot back down. It's a fantastic dive loop. This is one of the elements that's right at the front of the coaster. It looks great. Then you'll go into the vertical loop. This one goes right by around the lift hill. It's a cool effect, especially looking from the ground or on the lift hill. And it even is a great loop. It's fun, kind of intense. But then next is a huge 0G roll. This one is such a great element. You're just twisting in the air. It is so fun. Banshee is really just made up of great inversions that are fantastic. Like every single inversion is excellent on Banshee, which definitely makes it the whole ride. For instance, right after that 0G roll is a pretzel knot element that consists of 2 inversions. That's just so great. Like it's very much like a bat wing. It's just massive. You swoop up into a dive loop, come back down into an Immelman, and 2 back-to-back great moments heading up into the next vertical loop. There is a great spot to view all of these back area elements that is from the bat in the station. It looks so good, but then you'll come up into a turn leading you into probably my favorite part of the ride. It is this super slow twist that just leaves you hanging upside down. It's so fun. You're just twisting slowly and it's awesome. Then finally is a nice looking helix into the brakes. This coaster is just all around very spread out with all those maneuvers. It leads to some great weightlessness, and even though it's spread out, it's very intense. One of probably the most intense inverts out there. Banshee really does just do everything you would want in a great invert. The only thing it does not do is be very smooth, which is a downside. All around, it even just looks stunning. I mean, those colors man, it just looks so good from that front plaza. It's the whole scream zone. It just looks massive and staggering, all the elements put together, and definitely go to the top of the Eiffel Tower to see it. It is fantastic. Now, the overall score, I will give it a 9 out of 10, a very good score. So, overall, what do you think of Banshee? Do you agree with me on, like, if it's not smooth or anything else? Post that in the comments below. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon to get notified when I post new videos. It helps a lot. And see ya.